Do you ever feel like you're always waiting for your lucky break, but it's never coming? Like everyone around you is getting the chances you deserve, while you're stuck in the same place. Maybe you think you work harder than anyone, but success just doesn't seem to notice you. You keep telling yourself, once my lucky moment comes, everything will change. But what if I told you luck is not some random force? What if I told you you've been waiting for the wrong thing all along? Once upon a time, in a valley where rivers flowed through golden fields, there lived a young man named Jake. At 25, he had a heart full of dreams, but a mind filled with frustration. He felt unlucky, cursed, even, and no matter how hard he tried, nothing seemed to go his way. When he was passed over for an apprenticeship, Jake said, "Bad luck again." When his crops failed and his neighbors flourished, he whispered, "The rain's on their side, not mine." Even when his pottery business failed, he looked to the sky and said, "I was born under the wrong star." His mother, a woman who had weathered life's storms, would gently remind him, "Luck isn't something that falls from the sky. It's something you prepare for." Jake would shake his head, dismissing her words. "You don't understand, Mom. Some people are born lucky, and I'm not one of them." Jake watched others succeed, convinced that luck was the only reason they made it. The merchants, lucky to know the right people. The farmers, lucky to have fertile land. The young travelers, lucky to have the chance to leave. What Jake never saw were the early mornings, the late nights, the risks, the preparation. He only saw the end results, and he called it luck. His life became a cycle of trying something once, failing, and blaming it on his luck. Every time, he gave up at the first hurdle. Why try if fate had already written his story? Then, one autumn, the village announced a grand archery competition. The prize was enough to change a life, a chance to join the royal guard. Jake had once been skilled at archery as a child, and for the first time in years, he felt a spark of hope. Maybe this was it. Maybe this would be his moment. On the day of the competition, the sky was clear and the crowd gathered around. One by one, contestants took their shot. Each arrow found its mark, and the crowd cheered. Then Jake stepped up. He aimed and missed. His arrow veered off target. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Not cruel, but amused. His second shot was no better. By his third, he barely hit the edge of the target. Humiliated, Jake walked away, his heart heavy with shame. Of course, he had failed. How could he expect anything different? After all, he was just unlucky, wasn't he? That night, alone by the river, Jake sat and thought about all his failures, about all the times he watched others succeed while he remained stuck. His frustration was palpable. He whispered to the rushing water, "What's the point of trying if luck decides everything? If fortune has already chosen who will succeed?" It was then that an old man, Thomas, a farmer known for his incredible harvests and quiet wisdom, approached. He had heard about the competition, and without a word, sat down next to Jake by the river. "I saw you at the competition today," Thomas said, his voice steady. "You seemed surprised by your failure, but you shouldn't have been." Jake snapped back. "I failed because I'm unlucky. You wouldn't understand." Thomas smiled softly. "Luck is not random. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Thomas pulled 2 seeds from his pocket and held them out. "These are identical," he explained. "Same potential, same possibilities. But let me ask you this. If I throw this seed on a dry, hard ground, what happens?" "It dies," Jake replied. "Exactly. But if I prepare the soil, loosen the earth, water it, protect it, what happens then?" "It will grow." Thomas nodded. "Luck isn't just about opportunity. It's about preparation. People call me lucky because they see my harvest, but they don't see the work that went into preparing the ground, learning what works, making mistakes, and trying again. They don't see the months of work before the seed was ever planted." Thomas led Jake to his barn, where he showed him years of meticulous records, notes on weather patterns, soil conditions, crop rotations. "This," Thomas said, "is not luck. This is 30 years of preparation." That night, Jake lay awake, Thomas's words echoing in his mind. Luck doesn't just happen. It's something you create through preparation. The next morning, Jake made a decision. He would stop waiting for luck. He would start preparing for the opportunities that were bound to come. He started with archery, practicing every day, even when his hands bled. And slowly, his accuracy improved. Jake didn't stop there. He learned the merchant trade, studied pottery again, and sought knowledge from every successful person he could find. He put in the hours when no one was watching. His skills grew, his confidence grew, and his understanding of success changed completely. 1 year later, Jake entered the archery competition again. He didn't win first place, but he placed third. He earned respect. And most importantly, he understood the secret: preparation creates luck. Luck is not random. It is preparation meeting opportunity. Every successful person you've ever envied, every person you've called lucky, has spent countless hours preparing for the moment when opportunity knocked. So, the next time you feel unlucky, ask yourself, what am I doing to prepare for the opportunities that will come? The truth is, you're not unlucky. You've simply been unprepared. But today you can change that.